Hey besties, it's me, Carrie. Good to see you. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you're having a really good day. Today I'm using my laptop, so if it's a little fuzzy, I apologize, but my other cameras aren't working right now, and I'm making them work in other ways, so we're just gonna use this one today. Anyway, so hello, welcome, new viewers, hello, thank you so much for joining. All my other bestie familiars, thank you so much for being here as well. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update since I was having such a crappy week last week, and I'm feeling a little bit better, but it depends on what I do. So right now that I'm like all sitting and resting and things like that, my breathing is okay. But if I walk across a room or anything like that, then my breathing gets disturbed and I can't breathe. So, that's just how it goes. That's cancer. Some of you guys were asking about why I don't have an oxygen tank or something like that. Well, the way that this goes is that your oxygen levels in your blood have to be a certain level to need oxygen. My body doesn't require oxygen at this point. When it does, I'll let you guys know. But at this point, I'm using a bunch of nebulizers and all sorts of stuff too. But that common cold that has been going around hit me like a ton of bricks. My chest is still inflamed. I actually have pleurisy, which is the inflammation of the lining of the lungs. But that's because of my cancer. I have some pleural effusion too, which is water lining my lungs. There's a membrane inside of your lungs, um, just on the inside of where you have the tissue, and then just on the inside of there's a lining which is called the pleura. That lining there is really swollen right now. It's inflamed, and there is some water within that as well. The water is supposed to kind of clear up on its own or build up. Right now it's not so bad that I need to get it drained yet, but with my cancer, that stuff is inevitable, and it might not make sense to some of you guys, but this is stuff that I want to prolong and not have that stuff fully taken care of yet, because I'm going through some insurance changes right now too. They just happened on Monday, and I knew that the insurance, because I changed addresses, I knew that the insurance would change, but they didn't tell me how it would change and what my new plan included and all that. So I've been on the phone all day getting a lot of that stuff straightened out, and then I'm switching over to a different insurance. Anyway, long story short, there's all sorts of lags and a bunch of hurdles to jump and hills to climb to get all the things that I need. So it is what it is, and at this point you just kind of you do what you can do, but beyond that, it's just a minute of waiting. Fortunately, they just finally filled my oxys too, so I've been out since last Thursday for my long-term oxy. That's those are longer lasting oxy is what I'm talking about, Oxycontin. And then I have a short-acting oxy as well, so that only lasts a couple hours versus the other one. I go back and forth between them. I take my short term and then I take my long term Oxycontin and kind of go back and forth with it. So that way I always have something on board. But because I was out of the Oxycontin, I was having to use the short acting stuff a lot more, which is, depletes your whole bottle intake, and it's just a cluster F, but whatever. Anyway, so a lot of that stuff is being straightened out. It's just taking some time, so don't worry, guys. I appreciate all of your support too. It just all is what it is. I'm also actually going through a whole name change bit for my last name, and I'll tell you about that stuff later on as that stuff finally switches over. But I'm really excited about this last name change. Yes, I'm married, yes, but I don't have my husband's last name, and that's a whole story onto its own. I love my husband and love the family and everything else, absolutely, but I really want a name that actually it's a personal thing that identifies with certain parts of my personality and stuff, and into my all my woo-woo stuff and who I am and whatnot. Long story short, it doesn't have to make sense. I'm changing my last name to Lovejoy. So I love that last name. I feel like it really suits me. Carrie Lovejoy. And of course, anyway, I don't want to bore you with all those details, but it's really exciting for me. It's really funny of what's in a name, and my past stuff with my former last names um, doesn't suit me because of the part of my disconnected family, we should say, and feelings of abandonment from that. And I don't need to own that anymore. I've done a lot of soul searching on it, and at this point in my life, especially in my end days, I want to do things the way that I want to do them. So Lovejoy is on that list. So that's my happiness. Doesn't need to make sense. That's fine. Um, but that's my happiness there, is changing it to Lovejoy. And my kids are super excited about it. They understand my whole backstory and everything. They love it too. So it's just really fun. Anyway, plans for today are one of our best friends, Laura, who we've been doing a mentorship with her. I've been, and my husband too, but I taught them both how to do psychic medium and with the protections, discernment, and everything else with it too, because it's really for light and love, and you have to do that with extreme discernment, and I don't suggest that for everybody, not at all, but this is a calling that I have, and I love teaching it properly, but I'm astringent when it comes to rules and that, and practicing. It's really word from spirit. It's not anything yucky or anything like that. It's from spirit. And I just absolutely love that. So anyway, I have mentor session tonight with Laura, but also part of her training too. She's really blossomed in who she is, so she's going to be doing a reading for me tonight too. I'm pretty excited about that. Um, yeah, and another one of my soul sisters, Therese, who is a follower on here for my terminal, doesn't mean goodbye, did a reading for me the other day, and it was just absolutely beautiful. It just got me so connected with all my roots of who I am and why I am who I am and where I come from, and embracing that. And at this phase of my life, embracing all of those beautiful qualities of why we are here on this plane at this very time is so important to me, because that's part of my growth. It's part of my expression of love. It's part of my expression of light and connectivity with human and animal and creation of all sorts, plants united. That stuff is super important to me. So as much collection and collaborative of that, I just embrace to the fullest, with the discernment and protections, of course. I'm super stringent on that. Like I said, I can't even say enough about that. I could write books and books and books about it. So anyway, that's what I'm up to today. I'm getting some self-care done today. I have a little scarfy thingy on today, which I think is kind of fun. It feels super bohemian. I was like looking myself in the mirror today, and with my glasses and my nose rings and my everything else, my tattoos and everything, I was like, your 17-year-old self, Carrie, your 17-year-old self would high five this 45-year-old self. So I'm pretty happy about that. Do you ever feel that way about yourself? Like things that when you were younger, how you expected to be as an adult? And did you end up matching up to that? What was that like for you? Let me know in the comments. I love hearing about that. Anyway, I'm going to take off here pretty quick. I'll do another update later. Just tons of insurance work and a bunch of baloney, which is fine to take care of, but it's all necessary today. Uphill, whatever. Whoosah! Enjoy the day. We're having a moment of sunshine outside right now, and I'm in the Portland area, so it has just been dumping buckets, but the leaves are so beautiful. I'm enjoying the mushy leaves under my feet when I go outside with that wet concrete. It's one of my favorite things about fall. I absolutely love it. Been cooking up a storm lately, which reminds me I need to make banana bread today. Yes. So let me know how you guys are doing. Thank you for checking on me. I love you so much. I want to do a question and answer thing here very soon too. So if you've got questions for me, leave them in the comments below so that way I could kind of accumulate all those questions and do a segment of all the questions and answers you guys have for me too about my cancer, who I am, whatever you guys want to ask about me. That's absolutely fine. Do I know Jesus? Yes, I do. Yes, 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 yes. And yes, I know where I'm going after I die. I appreciate your concerns though. I will talk to you soon. Love and light. Bye bye, besties. Mwah.